Lapis lazuli is beautiful and precious. The pyrite spots on its surface look as shiny as gold. This stuff can not only be made into jewelry, it's also the oldest and most vibrant natural blue pigment. Ultramarine is also based on it. Girl with a pearl earring. That touch of blue was painted with ultramarine. 3 sulfur ions mixed in the crystal. In the range of 595 to 620 nm. Presents a visible absorption band. So it looks like a bright blue base. Make it into paint. The cost is too high for painting. Can't afford it. It's better to try artificial synthesis. It shouldn't be too difficult. Prepare sulfur. It's just an ordinary experimental product. The cost is not high. Prepare sodium carbonate. It's cheaper. Very easy to find. Prepare activated carbon. You can make this yourself. Also need kaolin to make a dragon-shaped lattice structure. Trap sulfide ions. Only cost a little bit. Monet bought so much. This stuff is directly mined. Has not reached experimental level. Still need to be treated slightly. Measure 150 grams of beads. Kaolin should be enough. Put it in a salt bowl and crush it a bit. That's it. Then put it in the oven to dry for a few hours. After drying, it doesn't look any different from before. Grinding it into powder. Put grinding balls in a coffee can. Then pour in all the kaolin. Put on a homemade grinder. Bust it, just grinding, in a couple of days. Take it out and have a look after 3 days. Okay. It's smoking when I open the lid. The countertop has been ground very finely. Pour it into the sieve to filter out all the powder. Just doing this isn't enough. It also needs to be fired at high temperature. Remove all the remaining moisture inside. First, let's do 50 grams. Just try it a bit. All done. If something goes wrong, it's really hard to grind. Prepare an electric furnace. This heating limit can reach 1200 degrees. That's already quite enough. Here, we only need to set the temperature to 600 degrees. Slowly put the crucible into the furnace. And then bake it at 600 degrees for about 10 hours. This can not only remove all the water, it can also destroy its original layered structure. The layer is amorphous metakaolin. Turn off the electric furnace when time's up. Let it cool naturally. Press it out. Take a look. The color is a bit deeper now. It also feels more fluffy. Weighed it. Lost 6.5 grams. Now it's completely anhydrous. Self-made ultramarine kaolin must be freshly fired like this. If left for a long time, it will reabsorb moisture, and it can't be used. Weigh 12.5 grams. Of metakaolin, 12.5 grams. Anhydrous sodium carbonate, 7.5 grams. Sulfur and 1.5 grams of activated carbon. Pour all the ingredients into a salt bowl. Grind them a little. Mix them evenly. That's about it. It's already a very uniform gray powder. It still needs to be made into clumps, so that the heating is more uniform. Modify the bottom of the syringe to make a mold. Put a section of the raw material in it. Then just fasten it with a nail hammer. It only took 2 hours. All those that have been made are here. This time the temperature required is a little higher. First preheat the electric furnace to 750 degrees. This furnace has a problem. The temperature inside the furnace is always higher than what is displayed. 700 degrees on the display means it has already exceeded 750 degrees. Put the lumps of raw materials into a dry pot. Then put the lid on. Isolate from oxygen. It doesn't seem to be covered. It's being held, it's fine. Cover it very tightly with ceramic wool. And let it bake for 4 hours like this. The polysulfides formed in the reaction are very sensitive to oxygen and water. All the raw materials must be dry. Metakaolin will reaggregate, surrounding the polysulfides, generating green ultramarine. Now set the temperature to 400. I waited for an hour. It has already dropped to 400. Open it and see if it's green. If not, it's over. Exhaling in surprise. It's indeed deep green. The camera hasn't captured it clearly. Because the sulfur ions are not yet present. The product is not yet blue. Add 3.8 grams of sulfur to the dry pot. This will produce sulfur dioxide. It has a pungent odor. It's best to do this in a fume hood. To allow sulfur dioxide to convert all polysulfides into trisulfide ions. Just leave it open like this and wait for about 2 hours. Once the time is up, you can take it out to observe. Observed. Let's see. The effect is absolutely amazing. Wow, that's awesome. It's really beautiful. Completely unexpected. Pour it into a salt wave. Regrind it into a fine powder. It looks even better than the clumps. This artificially synthesized ultramarine blue has a higher purity. The particle size is also more consistent, and the reflection is more even, so it looks more vibrant. It is insoluble in water, alkali resistant, high temperature resistant. Under normal circumstances, it is extremely stable in the sun and wind. The weakness is that it will decompose and change color when exposed to acid. See, it bubbles up with just 1 drop. It also produces hydrogen sulfide gas. Grind the rest finer. Add linseed oil and continue stirring. Mix it into paint. Feels like there's not enough oil. Can't mix it evenly, add a little more. Oh, it feels too thin again. I'll have to add some calcium carbonate. That's about right. Ready to paint with it. Then use zinc oxide to create a white layered canvas. Get the brushes ready. I've been busy for an afternoon. The painting's coming along, isn't it? Add some waves. Add a sense of dynamism. There's a blue sky and white clouds above. There's a sea in the middle. And there's a beautiful beach below. An abstract painter with chemical properties. I can say I've succeeded today.